Wow, that's a first. I go to just chatting. I'm like, wrong screen. Damn it. Welcome in, everybody. Every Sunday, I try to do a big part of my stream called The Rise of, which is learning about streamers and how they became who they are. A gentleman who gave me the opportunity a year ago, it was one of my first several Rise ofs, is back again to talk about his journey yet again in streaming. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello, I am Captain Jack Sparrow. Actually, I don't look like him right now, but what's up? I'm Raven, also known as Captain, as we do streams Captain Jack Sparrow, like 4 nights out of the week. And yeah, it's been a journey, man. I think the last time we were here, we had just hit partner, and now we're at a whole year, a whole year afterwards. So it's an exciting time to be back.
And we'll delve a bit into like your older stuff and then like how the last year has transformed for you. One
Mhm.
of the biggest things that I always say when it comes to you is you're very inspirational to streamers. A lot of people look up to you, and you have a way of just holding a crowd and getting people to just hear you.
Well,
Why?
yeah.
Go. Sorry.
No, I'll just say I appreciate that.
Why do you think that you have? What do you do that you think is different from everybody else, and why you were able to do that?
Oh man, there's a lot of amazing streamers out there, and a lot of people that do a lot of wonderful things. I think that we're very fortunate to have built um, a community of people that like are consistently supportive and are there and are a part of what we do. We definitely couldn't do it without um, the members that have formed in that. And I think that what sets us apart in that space is really having um, the purpose of the channel is not uh, it's never been to like try to be famous or whatever, like try to be like somebody that's like unreachable, but it was always like with the intent of like trying to care about people and tell them that they matter. So I feel like our purpose is different, and in that way it translates to something that's really relatable to people coming to see it. So hopefully they are getting that feeling that they are cared for and cared about, and I feel like that does make a huge difference. Like, what is your intent with this streaming? And then also like we try to leave no dead space. Like it's um it's all it's all as much as I can give someone every single stream it is. Like it's everything I have every time. So like I try to be as entertaining as possible because I know people could be absolutely anywhere and they're choosing to be here. So I try to take that and give people what their time is worth.
One of my big questions, and I know we've talked about this on here before and like on your server. What is one of the struggles that you see, like even now that you're seeing? What is some of the harder times with streaming for you?
Well, there's always like seasonal things, like there's usually a lull around holidays and summertime. That's just like a Twitch wide thing. And so it's sometimes that can be huge, or if you're feeling like as a content creator that you're out of ideas, and really a lot of that is telling you it's time to get back to the drawing board and learn from other streamers. So when I feel like I'm flailing or trying to figure something out, I immediately like say, okay, who's having a lot of success right now, and I go and try to learn as much as I can. Yeah, I think it would be there's always going to be these kind of things. The biggest thing again is coming back to the idea of like having a goal for yourself that's not metric. That way you can always feel like your stream is a success no matter what the numbers tell you.
I feel that statement right there with the non-metric and just trying to break away. There's something you said, and I've been saying is don't look at the numbers. Don't make it about the numbers. Make it about building the community. And it's something that
Mhm.
there's so many, and there's like, and I see it, and maybe this is a good conversation for you and I as well, real quick. With there's so many new streamers coming even now. Last year, I thought there was a lot. There's a lot now, and they're struggling, and they're saying, "Well, we don't have numbers. We're not getting the follows we want." How do you separate that? Like, what would your best advice, piece of advice to separate that anxiety?
Uh, it's hard to do, but really, like, needs to be fun first and foremost. If you're not having a good time, then your viewers aren't gonna have a good time. Like, you've gotta actually be enjoying what you're doing, and so I would set it up like, "Hey, this is an opportunity for me to, like, be able to hang out with people and do something that I love doing," and then, you know, the more fun you're having and the less you are actually stressing about things, the more people are gonna have fun with you. So it does you a great service to really just throw yourself into whatever you're doing and make it um as fun as possible for yourself. Like it's um so whatever you got to do to kind of like block that out, whether it's playing with friends or if it's switching up games, but don't be like roped into like thinking I've got to do this specific thing for my channel. Like get on there if you want to change it up. Like don't limit yourself and like like remember like again this goes back to another thing we like to say is remember why you started doing it. Like if you're doing it for the right reasons because you're having fun, then the anxiety can easily be quelled as long as you're like self-assuring yourself like, hey, this is exactly what I'm setting out to do. And if even if the numbers aren't there right away, like like it's all part of the journey.
Yeah. And this is one reason, like, talking to you, and if people don't know that you do a bunch of times Friday nights, you do get-togethers and people join and you have a conversation, you get to, and getting to know you on a more personal level, between me being out of work for the last several months and like having that time to get to know you. You're very humble, you're very like it, and I've seen what you do for your community, and it's, you make sure that something you've said before is you want to make sure like it means something. Like, if you see that name, I see Raven in someone's stream, it means something because it's you. And
Right.
everyone knows who you are.
Man, I'm honored to even think that, like, but I definitely, I try to like uphold that, everywhere I go and I try to be everywhere. It's always hard when you want to be like 1,000 places and you can't be, like there's hundreds of streamers on every day and I'd love to get to spend time with everybody, but I guess you just got to try to like manage your time wisely, so it can be
It,
difficult.
it is. And I used to think like, and I'm not trying, when I first started streaming, I'm like, oh, the big streamers don't care. I'm at a point
Mhm.
where it's like, I just like you're saying, I'm following a lot of people. I try to be certain places. I have and it's like, how do you do this? I could not imagine being in your shoes, because people are like, once you get partner, it's like it's easy. I'm like, no, it gets 1,000 times harder, because now you have things you have to do. And,
Yeah, exactly.
um, let's delve into your name again. For people who don't know,
Okay.
how do we come up, or how did you come up with the Raven Armed?
So, literally, it's because of this tattoo I have, like on my shoulder of the Raven. Like it was my Xbox gamer tag. I was like, "What's something that nobody has?" I was like, "Well, I've got a tattoo of a Raven on my arm, so let's try that." And no one had it, and yeah, no one like I have it everywhere now. Like like so I like that's which is a cool thing. So like if you type in the Raven arm like in Google, like everything is me.
Yeah.
Um, so that's a great thing to have. It's hard to like try to rebrand yourself after a while, so yeah, but it came from that, and then now we actually have like the the whole stream thing like tattooed like on our arm, like starting uh the stream sleeve
I,
for this year.
I didn't know that was. I really, when I saw that picture, I didn't know that was a real tattoo. That is
Oh yeah,
awesome.
dude.
That is absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. I love it. Oh my god. You know what? You just gave me an idea, but it's a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it. But
What
anyways,
is it?
I was gonna say I'll put a sub goal on my channel. If I hit so many subs, whoever will do a raffle of everyone who subbed. I'll write their names down, and then we'll do a wheel spin. At the end of the wheel spin, whoever's name it is, they get their name on my similar to you. Get it on my arm. Everyone else's
Dude,
names.
do it, man.
The
You should
ultimate subscription.
like a whole like sleeve of names. That would be intense.
Well,
That'd be
actually,
super intense.
not. I'm not. We're gonna go back to you. Actually, it's perfect because I'm Deadpool. Like I'm Punish and Deadpool, Punisher and Deadpool. Deadpool
Uh-huh.
has a list, the Deadpool list. So now, if I do all the subs, it would be my Deadpool list.
Dude, I like that. I like that. You could have it like titled up at the top and then have all the names. Oh, that'd be
The
pretty
Punish
sweet.
Pool list. Yeah, maybe,
The
maybe.
punishable list. Yeah. Dude, I like that.
My wife's gonna kill me. But all seriousness, so you had the name the Raven Arm. It was your Xbox clan tag or gamer tag, and you built it from. I mean, I don't want to say you did. Everyone builds it from nothing.
Right.
So what made you want to get into streaming?
Well, a friend of mine literally like pushed me to do it. He was doing it, and I was like, it's not for me. I just play video games to relax. And he was like, no, 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 you should do this. You can totally do this. And so I was like, I don't know. He wound up convincing me um, that I could. And so I wound up, trying it out. And uh, it was a different space. There's one thing about playing video games like by yourself, um, in your room, and there's another thing, like to actually being in front of a camera. There's just a different persona that comes out. Like I know a lot of people will tell me all the time, like, you're not exactly as like crazy and wild off stream. I'm like, because I'm exhausted from being on stream. That's exactly why. So yeah, I don't know. It's something that I started doing at him asking me to, and I just fell in love with doing it. So like, I don't know what I would do without it.
It's and you know what? That's great to hear because I don't if something I think if something happened to you, it'd be like the world would end a lot like a lot of people. I was getting it.
Oh
Thank you,
man.
babe. Dog was coming to my room. He knows not to come in here, but I didn't have the gate closed. Um, what triggered the Jack Sparrow cosplay?
Ooh, so the Jack Sparrow cosplay was done. I've been doing it before I started streaming, and yeah, my friend and I were playing Sea of Thieves, and I had the cosplay in my closet because I'd been doing a thing called Dragon Con, and I was like, you know what, we should dress up and play this thing. Since I had this costume, and he had like a Gibbs costume, so he was like, "All right, we'll do it." So we dressed up, and I saw more traffic than I had ever seen before, like literally, and I was like, "This is insane. This is crazy." So it worked. It was like a thing that I didn't expect, and it actually took off for us. And so he was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be just game. Like let Jack Sparrow play every game. And I was like, okay, let's try that. And so yeah, I mean the rest is history. I did it every single stream from that moment on, from that September until I think April was when I did my first no cosplay stream, and so that was a huge moment, huge moment. Um, but yeah, so Captain Jack is very much part of the stream, part of the stream, part of the crew.
What is aside from Jack? What was your favorite cosplay like that you've done that the community's worked with you with like because I know you do amazing channel point redemptions for them, and you've had some very cool ones. What was your favorite aside from Jack?
I'd probably have to say the Heath Ledger Joker. Like something about getting into that character was super intense, and I don't know, I love it. I love the method acting there, and I felt like I could like kind of take things to the next level. But I think the makeup came out better than I was expecting because I was like, man, I don't want to look like, you know, like I, forgive the pun, but like I don't want to look like a complete clown out here. So, like I
Yeah.
wanted this to be good. And so I mean I think it worked. And I enjoyed getting to get into that mindset and like do that method acting. I think it was a lot of fun.
It it was to me right now that would be one of my top of yours, but it was definitely it all your cosplays are always hilarious. Even you doing Dr. Disrespect, that I give you a lot of credit for because it's just funny. And you know what? It's a beautiful thing, especially again, your community eats it up.
Man,
Um
it so much fun.
Now, from what I've seen, you've made some changes to your stream in the last year, making you've been and I remember being kind of you talking about it. You switch from a lot of like horror games and like just single player games to now delving into like Fortnite, COD. You've played a lot of shooters. You do a
Mhm.
lot of co-op games, but it's just the change of gameplay, and it's interesting watching you grow with that as well. What was the thought process behind that?
Well, I never wanted to be married to a game. Like I never wanted to be like stuck in one spot, So like uh I think that a lot of it was really me wanting to try to diversify what I was doing, and I really kind of changed games based off of what how chat was, like if people were engaged, I was with it, you know what I mean, like I was with it. And as soon as I felt people like if chat's dying down, I'm like, okay, I'm here to talk with you guys. So like if something's taking away from that, then like I don't want to continue in that route when I can do something different and us be here together. So it was it's always a developmental thing. Like I'm always looking for new games, and then like I like to feel out, what are we enjoying the most? Like what are we as a community sharing and here for together? So I think that's really what it is. And I don't know. Like I just never, I don't know. Like I never like depend on the actual game, but I'm always kind of like using it as background noise because a lot of times we wind up just chatting anyways, which
Yeah,
it's just a lot of fun, and so like if we get to a game, then great. If not, and we just chat, then it's perfect because my whole purpose is to be there with the people that are showing up.
yeah. I lately I've been on it, but watching your streams when I'm there, it's always that is something that we've talked about, and it's so hard to do exactly what you're doing, and that's answering every message as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think it's the teacher in me. Like think it's just got to be me having that teacher mentality where like I can hear kids across the room and I can like, I know who you are. Like, like I know that voice, So I, you kind of get, I mean, I've got a lot of help from the mods too. They kind of help clean things up, but um it's something with high intent that I do because I don't want to miss anybody. I know what it's like to go into a chat and um have somebody completely miss my comment, and I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not gonna get a chance to talk to this person, then I'm gonna go somewhere else. So and I don't want anybody to feel like that. So I'm even like apologizing if I do miss something.
uh my one moderator goes, "It's hard, but still can't pronounce his name right because you'll call him Vobbling, and his name's Vobling." And I'm like,
Oh, did
man,
I say Vobley?
yeah. But it's when you read it. When I first saw his name, same thing, and it's just hilarious when he's like, well, but the thing
Yeah.
is you know what? But that's the thing. What you're doing, I don't see anybody do. Like I watch a couple big streamers. I watch a lot of streamers like in different sizes. Nobody does that. There is not one person on Twitch that answers every single message.
Yeah, it's hard to do, especially as you grow. And I think a lot of people try their best, but that's when like the whole idea is that the gameplay is secondary is really really true. Like if you're gonna do it right, the game is background noise. Unless you're just like a pro gamer and people are there to watch you play games, then rock out. I am not. So like my thing is, how much can I give of myself in this moment? Like, and um how much can I actually engage with everybody? So like the game becomes like just are we having fun with it? Because if not, we can do anything else. It doesn't have to be that.
I have a hard time doing what you do because there's certain times, and everyone does it. Like I'll tell you, like I've gotten used to just pausing. Like I like story based games a lot more lately. I'll do co op, but it's like I'll pause the game and answer that chat because I'm watching you and I realize we've said this before per, you have 10 to 30 seconds to answer somebody or they're gone. And
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
it's not even that. It's, oh, you didn't say hi to me, bye. And it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly. Like
it's hard.
you didn't acknowledge my follow right away. Like and that can be a thing. It can absolutely be a thing. So, um, man, I mean, you just got to kind of. Yeah, I mean, I encourage you to always try it.
Yeah.
Like don't give up on it for sure, because it's more important that you're connecting with people. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just there's a very small span of time, especially if somebody new. Like, are you going to get a second to talk to them ever again? Like, you get to make one first impression, and you only have a few seconds to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like it's got to go quick.
What is something in the last year you noticed that you changed to better your stream? Like what did you do to take it to that next level in your eyes?
So a big thing was like changing the space that we're in. I probably put like about 3K into like upgrading things between the PC and the cameras and the microphones and like just to make the quality of the stream better. So when people come in, they're like, okay, like this is like feels professionally done. You know what I mean? Like it's me trying my best and watching YouTube videos and asking for advice. But it's really like I wanted the aesthetics to be there so people come in, like they feel like this is a great spot. And then diversifying content, cosplays, and then also joining Hover has been a huge thing too. Like getting more content out there on other platforms and engaging in that space has definitely helped to push things to the next level. So I'd say like the stream appearance and quality, and then the content we're actually doing, and then after that, like engaging on new apps like that is huge.
Oh yeah, and you were very early on that. And it
Yeah,
and you know what, seeing how again people met you on that app, see you and they love it. I want to delve into hover and with you in a little bit. Backtrack a little bit. When so I know this and we've talked about this before. What were the type of games you played before? Did you notice the difference between the games you played before like streaming and then like when you started or not really?
um yeah, I did. Well, when I first started, I was all over the place kind of and just playing what was popular, and like and that's hard to do because like if you try to stream Elden Ring right now, there are people with like 6,000, 7,000 people at the top of those lists, and there's no discoverability there. So, it had to be changed, and something that I really enjoy playing is like horror games. So like doing that, it keeps chat like where they can do something by messing with me with Dixper, and like it's something where I don't feel like I'm taken away from stream because like with more people there's more time that has to be allocated to be able to respond to everybody, and so um I feel like the game choices I have right now are based off of how interactive I can be in chat. that, and then am I enjoying it? Because if you're not enjoying it, again, like your community's not going to enjoy it. So you've got to like actually like pick stuff and do stuff that you can get hyped about, like that you can get excited about.
What kind of what someone was asking, so I figured get this question while we can. What kind of games do you play? Or like what are your games currently that you play?
Like off stream or on stream, because
On
they're two
stream.
different worlds. On stream. So we've been doing a run through of Zelda. I hadn't done all that. I just got a Switch, so that's been a new one, but I've not finished it. I'm bad about completing games. Like I'll start something and play it for a little while, and then I'll be like, okay, then I'm on to the next thing. I just looking at this week, we're doing a new one tonight called Midnight Ghost Hunt, which is super popular right now. Um, so I'm excited to try that. Then we're gonna do some more Sea of Thieves this week because that's always a lot of fun with Captain Jack. I'm also gonna try this game called Dread Hunger. The problem with that is you have to have 8 people to play. So what we're doing is getting like all the mods in to play. Um,
That's
so
awesome.
it's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be everybody versus me. Um, and then so we've got Marbles. Marbles is a great game because you can do it for giveaways and you can also stay engaged with the chat the whole time because you don't have like there's only a few seconds of the actual marbles race and then everything building up to everybody coming in. So yeah, those are my big ones, but I'm always looking for new indie horror games. I'm waiting for Choo Choo Charles to come out. Off stream I've been playing Elden Ring and Minecraft, one of them to because the game's glorious, and the other one because Minecraft is super relaxing.
No, I get that. I do SnowRunner offline because I can just
Yeah,
relax and get away from nonsense. Um,
yeah.
something. Uh, why did I just have a brain fart? Going with everything, you've grown exponentially. You really made a name for yourself, made a brand. One of the big things is you have been saying is you matter. What
Mhm.
was what was the thought behind that? How did you come out? It's a merch line. Why did that become like the big merch line for you?
It really fits with the message. Like it's like what we wanted to do. It's like tell people that they are important and that they are valued because not enough people get to hear that to begin with. And so it's the most important thing I can tell somebody. If I got 5 seconds with them, I could say, "Hey, follow the channel. Hey, get some rogue energy. Whatever." Like, but if I'm really gonna, if I only have a few seconds with somebody and I can impart on them that like that their existence is important and that like they are loved and like we're not just saying that and like we actually back that up. Um, it's that's my real mission on Twitch. Like outside of everything else. You know what I mean? Is to try to help people as much as I can. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
really to try to like pour into others and say, hey, like Twitch doesn't have to be just about video games or about like we have a lot of fun times and there's a lot of hilarious stuff that happens, but like the reality is if I can um make someone's day or life a little bit better, like especially those people that need it, and people that don't even know how to express it or didn't even know they needed it, then I feel like that's my non-metric goal, and that's what my version of success looks like is having people say that yeah, it made a difference. And to me, that's when I feel like it's successful. Um, so yeah, I'm excited about that. And we have the merch line based on it, and all the sales from that go to charity too. So that's not even a plug. Like I'm trying to like sell hats. Like I don't take a dime from it. So it's really about getting the message out there, and it's not a unique saying. Like it's like people have been saying something similar to that, if not that, for a long time. But it is the most important message that we can put out there. So I want to make sure that we keep doing that. So that's kind of how that came about.
No, it's you know what, but the thing is I honestly feel if any other streamer would have said that, you couldn't. It's like the way you say it and the way you make people feel, it fits perfectly. You make people feel like they matter. you make them feel like they can make a difference, and you do that for people.
And that's true, and they can, like,
Yeah,
it's consistency too. It's not like you don't get on there one time, do a stream, and say, "Hey, this is what I feel like talking about right now." It's like you do it and you live it every single time that you're on, and that people then they're like, "Okay, he's not just saying things. Like this is really what they're about," and that's what I want people to get.
yeah. When you started Hover, what was your first thoughts on Hover, and why would you tell someone to join Hover today?
Ooh, well, I would say it's but get on there before it becomes TikTok, before it becomes using because it's so unique for streamers. Like it's such a great idea because like nobody else is doing this. TikTok is oversaturated and it's hard to get discovered there as a streamer to begin with. And then even if you do get discovered, I know people that have like I don't know, like 800K followers, 1.5 million TikTok followers, and they stream to 30 people, and it's
Yeah.
just, it doesn't translate to here. If you're trying to be a streamer and not just making YouTube content, then it gives you the ability to access that person's channel directly from the clip, which is very unique. But it's also in its beta still. Like most people don't realize that that app is still in beta. So like if you're in on it now and you can make a name for yourself on that platform, it's just like anything. Like the reason PewDiePie is famous is because he was the first one doing it. It's not that his content's great. He's just the first one.
Yeah.
Like and so if you're in on this ground floor, then there's no limit to like what your potential can be when it takes off.
Now, and I'm not trying to get. Don't take this as a convert. A lot of people, and I know the answer to this question. A lot of people say, "Why am I not getting? Why? Why am I only getting 20 views on this video? Why am I not getting? I get 1,000 on TikTok. Why am I staying on this app?" What is you aside from that? What is there any other reasoning aside from it's new, it's not TikTok, it's not oversaturated? Would there be a reason why you would say stay?
Well, there's a few things. One, TikTok is in the hundreds of millions of users, if not in the billions. Like it is, there are so many people. So there's so many people accessing that content. Um, TikTok, or no, sorry, Hover has roughly 150,000 users. So like you're talking like 0.1% of TikTok's audience is on there. So if you get 23 views on a vid, consider that's 2300 vid. Like it's roughly like 2300 views on TikTok. It's a
Yeah.
lot. So like it's scalable, you know what I mean? Like some of like my biggest videos have like 5k views, you know what I mean? Like and that is a lot for that app. That's a whole lot. So like everything is scalable. You have to see like even if it's smaller, it's more impactful because people can come straight to your stream. And then two, it depends on also how you engage the app. Like, are you actively on the app? Like I'm on that app for hours a day, like hours, like watching videos, commenting, and like giving out likes and stuff like that, and learning. Like look at the videos that are getting likes and emulate. Like look at the videos that have like more than 5 GGs and find out why, and then try to do that with your own content. Like because a lot of times people just like and the ones that usually don't get likes are people that are not posting regularly, they're not active in the app. And if people don't know you, that's a huge thing. But also if your content isn't like up there, if you're just like posting a stream schedule or just taking clips right from Twitch and putting it on there, then it may not be it's not going to be the most aesthetically pleasing, the most like great thing to watch. Like I edit my videos before I put it on there. I use a program called Filmora Go. And you add the subtitles, the captions, it makes it pop. If the video looks great, it's going to get likes. Even you can say, look at this chicken. And if it's edited right, then I mean, it'll take off. You know what I mean?
I
Like it's got to look
I
right.
I got into Hover early. I'm not very active on the app. Just a lot is going on in the head, so it's like it's hard to focus on everything. But I made a following and getting to know people because of their Discord, which is something.
Mhm.
The thing that I like about Hover, it's not just for streamers; it's for viewers. It's a
Right.
beautiful thing because you could find other streamers in it and stuff like that. The other thing that I found with Hover that I like is Next Top Streamer, which gives you an opportunity to get seen, to make a name for yourself, which you hit top 16, which was a big feat for you guys, for you and your mod team.
Yeah.
What was your thought process on NTS? Like when you were going through it, I know you were stressed if you're gonna
Yeah.
make top 32. How did that all play out for you? Like, did
So I the video was fun. The first round was fun. I I don't know. Like, I feel like there should be a twofold voting system rather than just like having three judges and letting their opinions be it.
hmm
I think that you should have a like we do in our own congressional elections, like let there be a popular vote too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then so I would say that what they should have done is taken all four each night and then voted it down to two between the judges and then let the audience pick the
yeah,
top one. That way there's some input, you know what I mean? Like from both sides of the spectrum because you only have three people and like everyone's objective, in what they like, so it depends on which night you go is if you move on,
mm,
like can be a huge thing.
it was.
But
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying um, but so like that's a huge thing. But for me, it was more stress than it was worth. Like I didn't like being on there being stressed out. Like streaming's not supposed to be a stressful thing. It's supposed to be a time of great joy and having a blast. And if it was like literally like if Hover just pulled me up or right into me, I have no problem hanging out and talking with everybody on there and doing what we do. But I think it was just like all the anticipation racked my nerves to where I was just like, man, like this is like feeling like I've got to produce or like do something else or um in any way not be myself or be true to what I'm doing. Like anything that makes me question that is a little rough. So I don't know if I'd do it again.
I
It was cool being in it, but I don't know if I'd go again.
I feel you on that because I I thought I had a chance with how I went through I did, but then quickly told myself I didn't have a chance because I realized watching, I'm like, nobody saw anything in my content. You literally just had a video of me say, and I do feel that when it came to the TikToks outside or not TikTok hover side, it was like they give themselves a day to go through 8,000 videos. I don't think it's enough time, personally. It's a good app for NTS and stuff like that. They have thousands of submissions, and it's like a day after it ends for them to decide who's going to be top 16 on these things. I love the app.
Hmm.
There's a couple things like you said I think should change, but it is a really good app for streamers to network with, and that's the number one thing I think you and I would agree on. It is a great app to network on. Hover or TikTok is harder to network with, but you can do it. But I think Hover is really a good way to network as a content
Yeah.
creator. Whether you're starting out or existing, it's a great way to network.
Yep. 100%. Like it's a great way to find streamers and even to learn from streamers like really quickly because TikTok you could get anything. But like on this at least, you can find other streamers and I learned from a lot of people too. I'm like, all right, what content's doing well here? And then like what does their stream look like? And then you go into their stream and you say, okay, this looks really cool. Like, and then ask questions, how do you get this? What does that look like? Etc.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to the future with it and see what happens. Um,
Hmm.
what are some of your goals for the future?
Ooh. Well, we're doing full time. So I'd like to keep my house. Like, I'd like to be able to, like be able to, pay the bills and be able to keep doing this. I'm also getting my doctorate at the same time, so my goal is to finish my degree and jump into this next year with success. And I'd like to take it to another level. Everything we've been doing has been based off of having a 60-hour work week in the background. Like, and so I'm curious to see what we can do when I have full rest and I'm able to like actually put the time in this that it deserves.
When you said you were going full time, I couldn't be happier for anybody else. Not gonna lie. Like that was I didn't think, and I'm not I knew you did what you did and I knew you did this a lot. I didn't think you were ever going full time. When you said that, I couldn't have been happier for honestly.
Man, I'm really excited. Like, it's yeah, it's something I've wanted to do, didn't know how it would go. And then like I don't know. I'm excited that to have the chance to try it, Like I'm like at least one time in my life I want to give it a go. So,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
What's a piece of advice you'd give a new streamer? Just starting out, what would you tell them to do?
Well, besides having a non-metric goal, that's a huge thing. Have a goal outside of Twitch's affiliate goals they're going to give you because they're going to throw numbers in your face and you're going to judge yourself based off that and you got to stop. Yeah, like you got to stop. You can't look at that. Like if it happens, it happens. If it goes, it goes. The more you shave the numbers, the more you're going to think that that's your value and it's not true. You just got to focus on having a great time. Most of also all the work happens off stream. Making friends, making those connections is an off stream thing. Like going live is like should be the payoff for all your work. Like that, that should be like now we get to do it. Now we get to have fun. But you should be in other streams watching and learning. Like if in order to be a great streamer, you got to be a great viewer, and see what people are doing well. And so I would spend a lot of time making friendships and go ahead and get the mentality that like these are relationships you're forming and not just viewers, because like if you're just trying to get viewers and try to get numbers and you see people as numbers, it's going to mess up your whole ideology and it's going to set you back. You got to form like real relationships with people and get to know them, spend some time in their streams, network, and try to like get some people that are like at above your level and like try to play games with them and hang out in other people's discords and get to like know folks and like spend time with them. Like spending that kind of effort will help you to grow more than just like having a catchy flyer. You know what I mean? Like I would do that. I would focus on two specific apps, like post everywhere, but like most of my stuff comes from Twitter and Hover. Those two are like my main right here. I do post on IG and I do have some stuff on YouTube, and then I Facebook is my least touch thing. It's mostly my posts from Insta going over, and then I do post on TikTok too. But I spend most of my time on Twitter and Hover because that's where I see the most growth. So I'd focus on two of those things: network, have a goal that's not based off numbers, and then try to leave no dead air. Like, why? Picture you're inviting someone to your house. Like, why do they want to come over? Right? You're inviting a stranger to come to a house. Hey, I'm doing a thing. Come hang out. Why? What are you doing? One, are you going to enjoy it? Because if you're not enjoying it, then they're not going to enjoy it. Is it some type of an event, right? And then, so you have your like hook, like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have fun with it. And if you're having a blast and when people join in, they're going to have a blast with you. And like if you're also focused on the chat in there and like respecting people, hey, thanks for coming in, man, like this means a lot to me. Like what's your favorite cereal? What do you like this game? Do you like, have you tried it? You have any tips? Like I encourage you to let people backseat all day unless you're a pro gamer, and if you are, you probably don't need to have this talk. But uh yeah, I mean, I would focus on those things. And then leaving dead air is a big problem. People like either like don't have like background music, or they're not talking, or they're like, if chat's not moving, what do I do? Play games with friends, network, go on Hover, find somebody that's playing a game you like. Go look at their what they're doing, see if they'll play with you. You know what I mean? And oftentimes this works best at somebody that's like right at or above your level. You know what I mean? So like if you're streaming to 20, 25 people, go see people that are streaming about 20, 25 people. Like, hey, you want to like team up and do like a co-stream thing with us, and like, and then you get to meet people from their community, you get to have fun playing with this person. But it's really about relationships. So even if you just have like a friend, I started with my buddy and we just played games, but it left for no dead air because we were having a conversation back and forth all the time, and it was hilarious. um and then people can join in on that. If you're just sitting there quietly playing a game, people are like, they don't have as much incentive to stay.
Yeah. And the other thing is getting in these communities, and kind of a member just came in, and you have, I believe you have one yourself, or you're part of, you get into these groups. Like I'm part of Team Mononoke, which I met some really beautiful people, hence Sindela, Ghost of the Machine, stuff like that. I never thought I'd be part of a stream team like that, and it's, again, not kissing ass, Sindela, but but the thing is you meet people and you get to know them. Like I can't. You talking about your top two pieces of social media for me, and I know it sounds um I'm not trying to, but my top two are Discord and Twitter. I use Discord as
Mhm.
social media because I'm in Discord calls. Like I'll hang out with people. It's really awesome. Like it's just what we do as content creators makes a difference in someone's life, whether you realize it or not. We've had that conversation, you and I, before. Um, all right. So I am going to open chat to questions for Raven. If you have a question for Raven, please be respectful. That's all I ever ask. But if you have a question, please ask him. Um, Anything you would like to know about him, his streaming career, how he became who he is. If there's something that we didn't touch on that you want to hear, please ask. What a day.
Right.
It's funny. Like we're talking about how like you don't want to have. We're talking back and forth. This is literally the only time I like ignore my chat for most of it. And it's like they understand, but it's like this is the only time I really don't like read it. Like I read it and I may type in, but I don't talk to chat a lot.
Right.
It's hard. What is your doctorate for?
So my doctorate is in curriculum and instruction, and it's I've got so I did my bachelor's, I did my master's, and I went back and got my specialist, and I've got like a bunch of certifications too. And then I've done 2 years of my doctoral program, going into my final bit here towards my dissertation. And so it's been in secondary, basically education. I've been a high school teacher for a long time. But what I plan on doing with this doctorate in curriculum design is designing a digital curriculum for students unlike anything that the world's seen yet. Because right now, when we had COVID hit, you had teachers that couldn't plug in a printer trying to run Zoom calls, and kids falling asleep with their cameras off and losing a whole year of education. It was a disaster. It was awful, and the whole world's set back. So my goal is to design a program called Edge, and it's going to look just like Twitch, where you can have entertainers that are also certified teachers getting on and giving the students the material in an environment like this, where there's fun things and channel points, and there's cosplays and there's entertainment, and you guys can learn a lesson here in this environment in a space that they know and can connect to. Because if kids aren't watching the teacher, it's because they're on YouTube, they're on TikTok, they're on Twitch, they're doing other things and being entertained. So if it doesn't look like education and they're actually getting education, then it's going to merge perfectly because they're going to actually pay attention. And in that space, we can take them there. They can take their testing at their local schools and get their degrees like they would normally, because a lot of students would thrive in this environment. It would cut down on the need for any cyber academies. You could have up to, what, and as many viewers as you could possibly have. You could have tens of thousands of students in one classroom at a time rather than just 32. So it saves the states millions and millions of dollars, and then the teachers can get paid. So picture like it costs about $3.75 per day per student. in Georgia to have a kid in the classroom. Roughly, like, it gets to be about $27, $28 a head. Um, and uh, when you do this per semester, you're gonna wind up, like having to pay for lunches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this, you would cut it down to a subscription fee for the school that would translate to about $5 a person. And in this, you could save the school hundreds of thousands of dollars, the state millions of dollars, and then that $5, like I would cut it more respectively than um I would, like, other platforms that might cut you 50-50. Like I would cut it to, like, 70-30, 80-20, based off that number. So you're talking teachers that are making garbage for all their investment are now making, starting salaries of 200K. And then you're also getting dividends off of the YouTube video ads. So like two to $600,000 depending on how much your videos are watched. Like, um, it's going to be a game changer. I'm in the midst of developing this over the next 3 years, 3-4 years.
That's awesome. That is. I mean, we're going in that direction, anyways. We're
Yeah,
so if dude, I am hoping that is amazing. In my
yeah,
eyes, like I think I would have done better in school if because I don't do well. Like I didn't do well in school. I ADD and all this other.
yeah.
It was a
But
struggle. But
imagine you could just like tune into your favorite streamer and like, okay, this is history. All right, let's do the thing. And this guy's dressed up and he's acting funny, and you can do channel points, you can interact, you can chat. Like, it's engaging rather than listening.
like
So
one of my mods is saying that Johnny just spent channel points and changed the subject in Civil War.
I mean, it could be great though. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I
it's gonna be so much fun.
holy shit. Yeah, I agree, and it's like it's an amazing idea. I would love to. I'm gonna be watching you, but that's the thing is like I was saying in school, I couldn't pay attention for an hour, but yet I can watch someone stream for three to 8 hours
Yep,
nonstop and be like, oh,
exactly.
I got 40,000 channel points now.
Exactly. It's a matter of being the first person to do it too. You just got to be first. And then when undoubtedly Amazon and or Google or a combination of those two and Disney all like say we want this idea, then you sell it and you move on. And you work in that parameter. But right now, I mean, it's the same thing. Like Amazon owns Twitch for a reason. So like it's either that or they're going to do it on a global scale. But my goal is to get it out before they do it.
Um, Anybody else, if you have questions, please ask. Um, Anything you have, if you have a question for the lovely Raven Armed, that a bunch of people coming in know who exactly who he is. What's up, Star? How we doing? Um, I love that a lot. I think it could be a difference in everything. Um, the world we are in is so different now, and it's
Yeah,
changing
it is.
so fast. Um, we don't have any questions in a couple minutes. Where can people find you, Raven?
So twitch.tv/the Raven Armed. I'm also on all the socials. So if you just type in the Raven Arm on anything, you'll find me. And yeah, so we just released a YouTube video, which is actually I think the best one we've had to date. The YouTube's something I'm trying to figure out, like how to navigate that algorithm. But yeah, so yeah, we're doing that. We stream again Monday, Wednesday. Sorry, no, it's not. That's wrong. Scratch that. We stream Monday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday at 9 Eastern.
Nice.
I figured it out.
One of my mods wants to know: will you play D&D,
D&D, like
Dungeons and Dragons?
yeah, I have played D&D. I have. I like doing it. I've got a character I've been itching to bring back out. He's an elderly wizard who's very confused all the time called uh Mr. Swizzle Sticks. And he's
Mister,
got swizzle sticks.
we're
He's got
trying to
swizzle sticks in his ears.
we're trying to do it right now. Is do a community D&D session and trying to put that, but
He's got like bardic style magic where he's just like casting spells, but it always goes wrong. He'd be like, "Higgitus figgitus," and then like his firebolt actually comes out like a little sparkler or something. It's like, oh crap.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
Uh,
he's a lot of fun.
all right. Do you have somebody you would like to take the raid to?
Ooh, somebody that we could take the raid to. Let's see. Got a few online right now. Let's see. All right, let me give you the game choices, and then we'll pick from there. So we've got Phasmophobia. We have Final Fantasy VII, and then we have Mario Kart 8.
Three.
Or Tina Tiny Wonderland. Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
See, if you give
So
me the choice, I'd be going for Tiny Tina because Borderlands is the best game ever. But chat, it's all up to you guys. Again, we had Phasmophobia, Mario Kart 8, Final Fantasy 7, and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Mario Kart is my vote. Slash. Just doing streamer things. We're gonna put a poll up real quick, guys. Just bear with me.
Poland, right.
I almost put GTA for some reason. Final Fantasy 7.
Mario Kart, Tiny Tina's, and Phasmo.
All right, there we go, guys. We have a pull up for 1 minute, real quick, and then we'll rate out. And you have last thoughts, last comments, whatever you want to call it today. Raven, I appreciate you come on here so much again. Every year, every year, we're gonna have the Rise of Raven Arm part whatever. We're gonna hit like part 69 and then say we're done.
Dude, there you go. Each year, each anniversary, just come back with it. I like it. I'm into it. Yeah. No, man, I appreciate you having me. It's fun. I always enjoy getting to hang out and chat, and it's gonna be a wild year. So we'll have a lot of things going on. And yeah, let me know about D&D when it comes summer. I'll have time to do all the things. So it'll be good.
All right, definitely
have a lot more time.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, just real quick before this is my series called The Rise Up. It is a way for people to learn about a streamer without knowing anything. Usually, it's the chats are involved, but you get to hear something you really don't usually hear. This is the second time I did it with Raven. Last year I asked him to do it. Didn't even know he was about to hit partner. Told me, yeah, let's do it. Did it, and now a year later he's been partner for 1 year and has been a great friend and a great supporter of the community. We are going to Phasmo.
Cool. I texted you the name.
But all last thoughts are yours, sir.
Yeah. No. Stream. Turn on the go live button. That's the hardest part. Just poke it. And if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out, ask questions, do things. Yeah, we're gonna be having some fun this week, so it'd be cool to hang out. We got to get some PunishPool in with some games with us too, which would be sweet.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, I get nervous gaming with you because I don't want to slip. So that's why I don't really. It's not.
Just push the talk. Then you'll be very cautious. Like
that is
like,
true.
Okay, when I hit this button, I need to just be on my cues for a little bit.
So we'll talk about it in a couple of seconds. But guys, thank you all for being here. Raven, thank you as well.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.